I'm going to hit go live. All right, it's saying we're live. We're doing it live, guys. Doing it live. Welcome back to another amazing episode of What the FiGPiN.
What the FiGPiN?
I was gonna say, what happened? You guys, look, I'm doing it backwards, and no one even said anything to me.
That it was upside down.
That was a huge mistake.
It was huge.
Huge.
It was huge. We're already coming to you live.
Yep.
I cleaned my room. I don't know where I put the piece of paper now.
So,
oh man, we're gonna have to write another one. That's
I know,
sure.
seriously, right? So it is another amazing Tuesday. We will start with ladies first. Alex, how are you this evening?
You know, it's a little slow getting started back with the kids back to school and everything, but I'm doing well. It's Taco Tuesday.
Taco Tuesday.
Ooh, I want some tacos right now. That sounds great.
What about you, man? How's everything for you?
Everything's going pretty good. Just waiting on work. I'll probably be out there in a few hours trying to get everything started. I'm actually gonna have to run off for just a second as we get started to submit one more file or whatever that I just heard that I needed. But yeah, other than that, everything's all good. I have got another about week and a half out here before I get to go home and just living life.
Very cool, man. Very cool. And we have a special guest with us. It is Robert Prentice with TiBS, or 3if by Space. Robert, how are you this evening, man?
Good, guys. How are you?
Good.
Very well, man. So, I have to ask you, and I'm pretty sure I know the answer. You're on the East Coast, yes?
Yes.
The better of the time zones. So
that is the best of the time zones, and I know Michael Carrier will disagree with me on that, but perhaps we can duke that out in person at San Diego Comic-Con this year.
There you go. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that I knew that you're on the East Coast. You're sometimes, you can pretty much tell where someone is when we go ahead and talk in Eastern Standard Time, and they're like, "Wait, what time is that?" And I'm like, "Okay, so you're not on the East Coast," and you were not one of those. So pretty easy to communicate that piece of it. We wanted to go ahead and get started. Alex or Battle, did you want to go ahead and shout out the chat for us?
Yeah, we can. I'll pull it up here.
I was gonna say I don't have mine up, but what up, everybody? Good to see you. Welcome. Hopefully Frankenstein's in. He posted up something really funny the other day that made me laugh. I was happy he posted it. So yeah, that was a good one.
We have JTM Vintage, Queen Nerd, hello, Nearby Leprechaun, Anime.
Man. That guy, man.
Frozen
Desperado
Sid,
Lucky should go ahead and give his name to Nearby Leprechaun, man, with what he found.
TJ Perez, Cinez, Brandon Rivera, Van Harris, hey, how are you doing? Ruben Reyes, Will Reimer, Mike Carrier, Jason Nelson, what's up? Zero, Pinup,
What up, Zero?
Stephen Morsch, let's see, Nessa, Colorful Jamie,
Oh, what up, Nessa?
Sensei, and
Jamie.
thank you all for joining.
Midnight's in there tonight. We got Sound Warp in there too.
Very cool, yeah. Sound Warp.
Heck yeah, we got a good little crew going on. Love him. So
Definitely,
glad
man.
to
Thank
have
you guys so much
here.
for joining us.
Professor FiGPiN, I see, yeah.
Very
Ooh,
cool.
shout out Professor. Hopefully you guys saw his in our story tonight. He got a little special something.
Yeah, very cool. And before we go ahead and getting to know Robert a little bit more and with 3if by Space, we didn't go ahead and get to share this last week, but Battle, how was your holiday time there? Christmas, New Year's, how was that, man? Anything special happened for you? And I think I saw Casey in the chat too, so.
Oh no. Well, probably one of the most special things so far in my life to happen. Christmas came around, had a really good Christmas day myself, and me, I'm a little to myself and don't really tell my story too much, but yeah, what do you think happened?
Did you propose?
Oh yes, I sure finally did.
Yay!
Oh, Battle, man, from myself, and I'm sure Alex, congratulations, and Casey, amazing. You're amazing, both of you. So much love to you guys, and best of luck with everything. So
That's
awesome. I thank you all very, very, very much. As many people have told me, it was far overdue, which I believe John and Aggie, I believe you've told me many times I needed to make the move by now, but you know,
especially after hanging out with Casey those few times, it definitely, I had to go ahead and say something to you, man. She's awesome.
Oh man, love my life. She's probably the best part of me so far. So yeah, I finally pulled the trigger. I finally got her the ring that she wanted, and I was able to get it in, even though that was a huge fiasco and all that. But yeah, stay tuned. Hopefully we'll have a menu or a plan set forth here very soon, and we'll be going from there.
Awesome.
John,
Well,
I will expect invites.
Let's go. Let's save up. We might have
As-
somewhere some fun to go.
when it comes to the ring, as they say, if it's not a Hallmark movie story, it's not a disaster.
That was
Oh
awesome.
man, that is a good version of that. Well, thank you very much. It was a very special day indeed, and thankfully most of the family got to be with us. So it was great all the way around. And
Now,
I hope-
before we actually jump into the FiGPiN stuff, was she actually surprised? Did she know it was coming, or was it like a total surprise?
Well, I would like to believe it was a little bit of both. I think she knew it was kind of coming in a way, but I did throw a pretty hardcore zinger in there. I hit a bazinga in that. Long story short is we looked for a ring for a really long time. I wanted her to help me pick because I don't have good taste. And we finally found the one. She kind of tells me I order it, but she had it up on her screen. Well, she saw basically the same day when I ordered it, and I found out that she knew that it was out of stock. And so I see this email the next day, and it was like, oh, we're gonna have a Black Friday sale or something coming up in a month or so. So I go in, I'm like, Casey, hey, you need to give me your list because they're gonna have a Black Friday sale and I can go ahead and order everything. And she just like gets this serious face and she's like, I told you what I wanted. And I'm like, no, you didn't. And I'm really bad about doing stuff like this anyway. So I think I played it off perfectly. I'm like, no, like we talked about a few things. And she was like, I told you what I wanted and it's out of stock now. And I'm like, oh, no, it's not. Like, stop messing with me. And she kind of got really upset and I felt super bad, but I stuck to my guns. I let her suffer a little bit for like the 2 months or whatever it was for it to come in, and kept it a surprise. I had one extra present off to the side. I made her go look for it, and so far it was all kind of going good. And I thought it was going to be more of a surprise. And as she's like walking back from finding the last present under the tree, and I kind of like snuck off, got the little box and getting ready, I look around and everybody has their phone up. Like my mom, my dad are sitting like a foot away from her. My sister-in-law's like over there just like looking like, and I'm just like, how do you guys know this? And like, could you not make it any more obvious? And so Casey kind of sits down and she's like, what the hell's going on? So, but she was pretty surprised that I actually got the one that she really wanted, and it was magical all the way around. So I was kind of thinking I wanted to wait, but I'm glad I did it then.
So to tie this all back into FiGPiN, and I'm pretty sure it was Mike Carrier. He definitely has the same question I do. Was it a good sequence on the ring? How did it? What were the stats on the ring?
Was it a 1 of 1?
Yeah.
Actually, it is a 1 of 1. So
Okay.
Very good, man. Awesome.
Very nice.
Well, congratulations to both of you. Sorry, Robert. I know it's going to be hard to go and follow up now with this news, but let's go ahead and start talking about 3F by Spaceman, if you don't mind.
Yeah. So a little bit about 3F by Space. We started, 2011. So we're going on 13 years now. This site originally started as a fan site for a particular TV series that Steven Spielberg had produced. What made it unique was that it was on network television. It was on TNT, but it was the production budget of something you might find on HBO. And so for those that don't know, it was a show called Falling Skies. So it was an alien invasion series. It came out at the same time as Walking Dead had just started. So it was this epic comparison of aliens versus zombies, which has the longevity. Well, history told that tale, and we understand that zombies outlasted the aliens, so to speak. But
I They had some amazing actors in Fallen Skies, man. I love that show, man. It was an amazing show.
Yeah, and so what started the fan site, for little inside information that nobody knows about, so this will be new even for those in Discord who I've told this story to before. I Before I started the site, I was part of a social program called Clout, which you may remember from back in the day, with a K. And it was a aggregator that sort of measured your effectiveness or your clout in a particular subject matter or topic. And back then, TNT and Turner decided to do a contest for the top 2 and 3 people who had clout on Falling Skies were flown to the set for season 2 production. So I was one of 2 people that were picked. We flew up to the set in Vancouver. We got to see all the behind the scenes with Greg Beeman, talk with Noah Wiley and the cast, do interviews with everybody. And I mean, just being flown to Canada is a big deal in and of itself, right? Because I was in Florida, so that's a cross-country flight, airline tickets, everything, purchased by them, and we went. And so there were other.
Your passport?
No, I did not. So
that's a good process. Right
yeah,
there.
so it was a whole rushed process to get that done and do all of that. But it was a once in a lifetime experience. I will say that in all the years of covering entertainment news, I've not been flown out to a set again like that. And so coming off of that as a fan, that's where the website came to be. And so for those that have watched the show, the lead character played by Noah Wiley was a history professor. So of course, he loved to do allegories of, the American Revolution and the alien invasion. And if you had read the prequel comic that Dark Horse did, he was putting posters up throughout the city that were doing a play on Paul Revere. So 1 if by land, 2 if by sea, 3 if by space. So that is where our site name came from. And we eventually morphed into just really all things pop culture and entertainment. Kept the name, obviously, because it was very unique. And it's kind of stuck with us ever since. So that's kind of the unique little backstory to how the name came to be.
That's pretty amazing.
Very
Man.
interesting.
What was the first thing that you added to the site, if you remember, to start selling? License, whatever.
Yeah, so from a shop perspective, that's relatively new. So that started in the pandemic in 2020. And that came out of the necessity of our website was completely funded, including our 30 plus writers across the country, through sponsored ads and ad placements on our site. And so the majority of that revenue happened during conventions. So San Diego Comic-Con and other conventions throughout the country. So when all of that shut down in 2020, all of our revenue sources dried up. So in order to keep the lights on, servers running, pay, our writers and our movie reviewers to go out and do those things, we had to come up with another source of income. And so the shop came to be. And it started with Funko as a product line through Entertainment Earth. But shortly after that, I ran into a product for Evangelion. It was specifically the character Shinji. It was an anime that I really loved. It was the first anime I'd ever watched. I did not watch anime growing up, so I wasn't Dragon Ball, Naruto. Like, I was in my late 20s before I even started looking at anime.
Wow.
And so Neon Genesis Evangelion was the one that I looked at, and that product was a FiGPiN. And so having started to collect, those pins for Evangelion and seeing that Entertainment Earth was selling them. And then here comes My Hero Academia, right? First season of that hits, and they drop a huge first wave of My Hero pins. And so that was basically the first line of pins we started selling on our site, was that initial wave of the My Hero pins.
And
That's
did you started collecting as well for yourself with that pin, or was it only specifically to go ahead and start having product on your site?
No, I was a collector of FiGPiN and Funko long before I was selling.
Awesome.
So yeah, so it was a product that, you know, I was collecting for probably 3 to 6 months before I started actually selling the product. And of course, we expanded beyond just FiGPiN and Funko. We went into a lot of imported figures from Band Presto and Bandai. We've expanded to Zen Monkey, Good Smile, and then of course our own line of logo and character pins that we've started developing as well since early 2022.
Shout out to Bendy.
Man, those are super cool, by the way. I kind of, to put it all in a little brief summary, is I want to say congratulations on the 13 plus years. I mean, that in itself is an incredible feat to hit. Been at it for a long time. Super glad that it's something you enjoy doing and a passion you've done well. How do you happen to remember what your first pin was, or what the sequence looked like? Where did you see them first at? How did you end up, like, did you just buy one and then keep going back and getting them, or did you buy 5 at a time? Did you buy them as like a resale item first? I mean, I know you said that you were collecting prior, but and then I guess even after that, I have a few other questions, but I'll do those.
Yeah, no. So Shinji with Evangelion was the first. And I don't remember what the sequence was on it. I think at the time I wasn't quite sure how the sequences mattered yet. You know, one of the first things I did obviously was download the app, stick the product in the app, looked at everything, you know, that it gave me about the pin, thought that was kind of neat and interesting. This was around the time I was also messing with Pinfinity, which was, you know, the AR enabled, you know, pins. And that one at the time I felt like was maybe a little bit too far ahead of itself for people to adopt. Whereas, you know, something like this was a little bit more easy to explain to people. Yeah. So me, myself, Evangelion is kind of where I started. And, you know, by the time I started selling the My Hero line, the first wave had already come out. So there were only so many of them I could get from Entertainment Earth to sell. For my own personal collection, I had to start hunting for those pins. And I know that Mike will cringe, but Mike, cover your ears. A couple of my first wave My Hero Academias are not first edition because of that. Okay. Everything else I have after that first wave is first edition. And I will say that My Hero is the one line I am 100% complete on, along with Evangelion. Evangelion is not a lot of pins, so that's kind of, you know, easy to say that one's complete. But the My Hero line for me is 100% complete, including both variations of Halloween All Might. So
nice.
That's pretty cool, man. And when you say complete, just like common editions, or you have the APs for them? Are you an AP collector?
No, just commons. I personally don't. I never really got into collecting the APs, and it's not something that as a store we offer or carry. You know, we have to buy APs 95% of the time, just like you do, from eBay, Mercury, other places. Prices fluctuate a lot. Mystery boxes are a little oversaturated at the moment. So we're sort of in the same vein that you've seen some other retailers doing, like Pins on Fire, where it's like, let's go back to grails. Let's look at some of the really great old school stuff, like we did when the second Gears of War came out. We did an Atreus as kind of a grail prize, right? I mean, that's, people love to try to get a hold of that one. It was different. And that's what we're going to try to do moving forward, is to focus on those grails. And so when I say grails, it doesn't just mean one pin. It could be Atreus. It could be ultras. We just did an ultra mystery box not that long ago. It could be box sets. That's a spoiler.
And I'm sorry, did someone, I'm pretty sure I saw someone post the picture of the, I think you sent maybe a flyer in the box. Did someone actually?
Yeah. So yeah, the way we do it to keep it fair when it comes to mystery boxes, when it's something that's bigger than could like fit in the box and not be differentiated between boxes, like an ultra or a box set, we will put the winning flyer in there, and then they contact us with a photo of that, and then we separately ship out the prize to them when it's not, you know, a single pin or something that could just fit in the box.
Yep.
So they still get
Good.
their 2 or 3 pins, and then they send us a picture and we send them the prize. So we already got contacted by the Ultra winner. They bought 1 box, so they got an Ultra for $45. So they scored well. They did they did really
awesome.
good.
Yeah, congratulations to that person.
That's awesome.
With that being said, you've probably already done a couple plugs, but maybe we could go ahead and double up again. I believe you have I think it's a mystery box live right now with a recent pin that dropped that's, I believe, sold out, correct?
We do. So the current mystery box we have live, the grand prize is all 3 My Hero Academia World Hero Mission chases. So as you know, those all just recently kind of settled out. I know there was an inventory adjustment, so I think a couple of decus came up that people could finish off this week with the chase launches. But this prize for the mystery box is the complete set, all 3 locked. And the second prize, which you might argue maybe it should be the first prize, but it's the AMC Namor that was sold out. That is also locked. That will be a secondary prize in that mystery pin. And so we gave 2 other Namors out earlier this week on an IG Live event as well. We tried to take advantage of the fact that the shipping was a little high on AMC, and we all know how sensitive we are with shipping right now, and got it down to $5. So it was like, all right, that's a win. I can take $5. That's acceptable. So that's what we did.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I mean that's a tough one right now for sure. I mean, obviously the MHA chases are amazing, but you know the hot item right now for sure is that AMC Namor. So Namor, whichever one you prefer.
I think the real hot question on that one is, did it really sell out 1,000, or did somebody buy a really big chunk, or did they just misplace them? Like what happened with Org 13 Mickey. I think that's still up in the air, because I'll be honest, I'm surprised by the sheer lack of listings for AMC Namor on Mercari and eBay, which you would expect for something like that there would be a lot of people trying to, you know, given that it's sold out, to flip that. So I'll be interested to see if more show up later.
Good point.
You're breaking up, Mike, a little bit. Sorry, man. Oop, you're breaking up. So I don't know. Are you guys?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So with you going into FiGPiN and having your own collection besides of what's on your shop, what is your apps? I know you said your first pin was the Evangelion, but like, is that your favorite pin, would you say?
That's a good question. I mean, Shinji holds a special place for me, given Evangelion was sort of my first anime. You know, so that's a special one. I would say as a favorite, I'd have to say it's probably a tie between the convention exclusive Aang, which was the blue, the Avatar state that glows, and the Halloween My Hero Academia. You know, and if we were talking about the most expensive pin I've ever personally directly purchased and kept in my personal collection, that is Halloween Bakugo. Because obviously I wasn't collecting at the time that hit the conventions, and I believe that was 2019. I was the year after, so I was buying that on the secondary market, and it was a pricey one for me, but it's one I wanted to be complete on.
Did you pay the full $400 or whatever it was going for?
Yep.
Yeah.
Sure did.
Sounds about right.
You answered my question without me even asking it. My favorite question.
Yeah, and you know, I mean, I've paid more in the past for an AP for a mystery box, but not anything I kept in my personal collection. But for my personal collection, non-AP, definitely Bakugo Halloween was the big one.
Nice.
I have to agree with you. First, you listed 2 of my absolute favorite lines, the Avatar and the My Hero line. But there's something about the Halloween set for, you know, My Hero that just It's amazing. I love looking at those pins.
See, it's a perfect example of a crossover that makes sense, right? You know, where you have the Halloween theme, and it's funny because I remember when all of the pin badges and buttons and acrylics came out from the overseas sites for that sort of Halloween mashup, and it's like that would be really great as a pin to come here to the States. And when they did it, it was like, that's a perfect example of taking the non-standard pose of a character from a license that everybody has done 100 variations of across 100 different manufacturers and make something unique that's still within the licensed pin, right?
Exactly.
And I think that's something I'd like to see more of. I mean, action poses are great, and we know that the licensors are pretty strict with standard poses, but some of these alternative options that are not as widely used would be great to see more of.
I 100% agree.
Sure. Yep. Rob, did you want to go ahead and share your website? Because I know it's not a .com, so I want to make sure.
Yeah.
To go ahead and.
So I do own the .com as well, which is another funny story. Someone tried to extort me for 40 grand to buy that after the fact, thinking that I was much bigger than I was at the time. I eventually got it for $40, but the .com forwards to the .net, and it was simply because of SEO and everything else having been established on the .net. I wasn't going to change it over, but you can find us at 3fbyspace.net or .com. It'll forward you to the .net. And of course, you can find us on all the standard social channels at 3fbyspace as well, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. And then I have a every other week live show on Thursday nights called Nerd Herd Live, where four critics in the Atlanta Film Critics and Southeastern Film Critics Association do entertainment news discussions on the latest things that are going on, movies we've screened, and things like that you can catch us on by clicking on the live tab on our site as well.
That's really cool.
Very awesome.
Well, and now sticking with that, sorry, Battle, you can go ahead and go.
No, go for it.
Sticking with the whole movie thing, I am a movie nerd myself. I'm assuming you went ahead and seen Avatar: The Way of the Water.
Of course.
Quick, do you want to be the movie phone guy and do your 60-second review thing? What's your thoughts? Well, that's copyrighted, so I didn't say that actually. But go ahead and what were your thoughts about the movie?
Yeah, I will say that while the story is not anything new, James Cameron has managed to make an incredibly immersive and visually beautiful film that is worth seeing in theaters simply because you do not have the technology at home to experience what he did with that film. And I think that's something that to consider is most of us, myself included, are not huge fans of going to theaters anymore because we have the large TVs, the 4K, the surround sound at home. And let's face it, it's a heck of a lot cheaper and more convenient, right? To be at home and watch that stuff. But what James Cameron said is hold my beer, right? He's like, hold on. I know 3D didn't catch on, but I'm going to go a step further. I'm going to take motion capture, which we're all used to in films, and I'm going to do it underwater. And I'm not just going to do it underwater. I'm going to do it underwater with the actors and actresses underwater for 7.5 minutes. So Kate Winslet spent 7.5 minutes without going up for air, 30 seconds short of a dolphin, to film these scenes. So you take that motion capture underwater technology and double the normal frame rate, so something you might typically see in a video game cutscene, and he's created a completely new immersive experience. And that in and of itself is why it's at 1.7 billion right now, and likely to cross 2 billion by the time it's done with its theatrical run overseas. China has extended its run for Avatar by another 30 days. And if you've ever covered the China market or read about it, that's highly unusual because you run right into Chinese New Year, which typically they only allow locally produced films in the theater during that celebration. Avatar will be in the theater during that time. So that's a big deal.
Well, that's awesome.
He's got So the funny thing too, again, giving you all the fun facts here,
Love it.
that $2 billion mark that he said to break even covers the second film, which is out right now, and the third. He filmed both at the same time. They're already done. Obviously,
Wow.
obviously post-production has to take place, but they're
Did I
both
hear
filmed.
some weird stat that he sent the third movie to post-production, and it was something like 9 hours that he asked them to go ahead and actually like visually put together?
So I think that might have just been taken out of context. I think that was the combination of 2, 3, and 4 of what he had shot, because he didn't want the kids to age out like what happened with Stranger Things. So ultimately he filmed all of 2 and 3 and a portion of 4 before 2 ever came out. And if he got the approval to move forward, he would bring the same young cast back in, do 4, do 5, and if it does well, 6 and 7.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I mean, 1.7 billion, that's a lot.
And if that's a break-even point to go ahead and cover, 2.5 movies, I mean, it's pretty.
Yeah, the next movie's all butter, right?
Yeah.
But I know a lot of people in Discord have been talking about it would be a great opportunity to do a line of maybe Avatar FiGPiNs. I have no idea what the licensing costs for something that popular would be, and it might be out of reach right now, but the franchise isn't going anywhere anytime soon, so perhaps we will see some down the road.
Yeah. Well, I mean, another opportunity though to bring back XL though. Can't have a Navi and a 3-inch pin, in my opinion, at least.
I will reference Attack on Titan. Titans versus the human characters. That was a great example of where XL would have worked really, really great.
Yep.
Perfect.
Still great pins. I do like the Attack on Titan pins, how they look.
Oh, for sure.
I agree with you for sure. Yep. Very cool. And I would love to see that an Avatar pin come out. Alex or Battle, did you guys see the movie?
I have not. Since it's such a long movie and we have the young kids, I let my husband go with a friend, and I was like, I'll just wait until it comes out in streaming. But after hearing your review, maybe I should go with a friend and go see it in theater before it leaves.
I definitely recommend it. Like I said, between the 3D, the high frame rate, and just the immersive experience, it's definitely worth going and experiencing in the theater before you watch it at home. I mean, I think, it'd still be enjoyed in your at-home experience, but just what he's done with it is at least once need to experience it in the theater.
I'm definitely gonna have to rewatch the first one because I don't think I remember what happened.
Well, that, not to plug Disney Plus, but that is available on Disney Plus right now if you want to stream the first one.
There you go.
I definitely remember the first one. I'll have to rewatch it because it has been quite a bit of time. It was a great movie. I will say that I was gonna wait and do it in home theater, but you know what, Casey, we got our next date going down. We're gonna go watch a 3-hour movie. Here we come.
That's awesome.
I'll just kind of say, right? Oh, sorry.
Sorry,
I was just gonna say, I'm definitely gonna check out this. Now on your every other week show, is it you and then a handful or a couple of other people? Are you in it every time, or are you almost like a guest from time to time as well?
Yeah, no, it's there's 4 of us. 3 of us are critics, 2 write for a site called Fanbolt, and 1 has his own site called Shakefire. So it's the 4 of us each night on the show.
That is cool. Well, just hearing this little movie blurb, I'm gonna have to check those out because I loved it. You did it very well. I'm excited to kind of go in and see those types of things. And then I don't want to jump on Alex's question either. I don't think this is quite where she was going, but how did you go from being the writer, the critic of all these things on your show, and then selling pins, and how did you end up making your own pins? Do you design those? And how have you come up with the ones that you have on your site so far?
Yeah, so great question. So again, the reason the shop came to be was a source of income after the pandemic hit, and conventions went away. So we didn't have the ad revenue anymore. And frankly, as an e-commerce person, the ad experience, was degrading to the overall site experience. I mean, we all can attest to when you go to entertainment news sites and you get blasted with ad walls and a gazillion ads, and it's really annoying and it slows the website down. And so we didn't want to go the route of trying to continue to do that. And frankly, Google Ads doesn't pay much anyways. So, that's where we decided to mix the passion for collecting that we already had, right? With bringing those to selling on our site as a way to, keep things up and running and continue to pay our writers across the country. And what was interesting is we found a lot of correlation between everything that we were reviewing and the types of products that we decided to sell. So for our website, anime was probably the number one traffic driver for us over the last 10 years. And so we dove head on into anime products, whether it was Bandai imports, products that FiGPiN was coming out with, or, Zen Monkey's pins. Being very heavy on anime. And that's why you'll find that we didn't typically carry like the sports line of pins and things like that, because it just didn't fit our audience. And that's okay, right? You don't have to sell everything a manufacturer has, because not everything fits your audience. So one of the things that we started doing was, as the sort of direction of FiGPiN changed in 2022, and APs weren't as equally or easily accessible, and we needed a way to be competitive and unique to all of the other retailers that were out there, we decided, why not start creating cool variations of our logo as branded product? So that was logo pins, that was lanyards, that was stickers in the box. So like, we put stickers in the box as well. So this is our little mascot, which is our little space guy. This play right here is Icy Hot, which is a play on Shoto. You may not know it, but that's the fire and ice on there. Of course, we didn't put My Hero on it to avoid copyright issues. There's our standard one that Alex is holding up there. He's also our mascot for our rewards program. And so as we did that, we found that people who love to shop certain stores, love to collect logo pins. And so we started offering promos with pin purchases for the logo pins. So whether that was FiGPiN, Zen Monkey, or anything else. So there's our pastel one from Easter. That was one of our, I think, second or third designs that we ever came out with. And our first iteration was very simple. It was just our 4-letter logo. And some of the different color designs. And then as time went on, we got a little bit more sophisticated and said, why don't we create some iconology that would tie to certain licenses without necessarily infringing on anything, that people could add this to their FiGPiN collection or their Zen Monkey collection or whatever other product line they were carrying. And that's where we started coming up with things like this, which is our one-piece version of a pin, right? So believe it or not, that icon in and of itself wasn't copyrighted. So that was an opportunity for us to use that. 7 Deadly Sins was another really popular one. So we did, the 7 Deadly Sins as well. And that proved to be really popular with everybody. And so then we started experimenting with character pins. And so we started with an original character line of Greek mythology pins covering the Greek gods. So if you guys have seen those on our site, let me see if I actually have one around here. Hold on.
I definitely remember when you guys started doing those. I thought they were
I can show you those. So they are 3-inch pins. These were, I basically do the concept designs and then I give them to an artist to polish them for giving to an enamel pin manufacturer. So this one here is Zeus. So as you can see, it's the 3-inch design. And it's pretty wide, this particular pin, but we took a lot of time to ensure that we took into account a lot of the iconology for the gods. So, his famous bolt, his stance, his hawk, even everything from the ornament in his hair to his his shield with Medusa on it. We spent a lot of time and did a lot of research to make sure that we covered all of the key aspects of Greek mythology when we did these. And then we did custom backers for these that if you collected all of them, they created a Greek mythology puzzle that you can put together and create a complete landscape across all 5 characters.
That's cool.
So yeah, and then we did Genshin Impact as well. So if there's any Genshin Impact fans, we did Genshin Impact line of pins. So this one is from the most recent release that we just had. I know it's kind of hard to see on here. Whoop, that was the backer card, but this is currently on a stand that was made by J2 Squared. They made these for us to kind of demo how we could display our pins. So hopefully these are accessories that we'll be having soon for our pins. A nice magnetic base for that stand to go in. So if you want to do a shelf or a wall design, a couple different options to show those. So we'll have some accessories hopefully coming soon. And of course, that release wouldn't be complete without a special edition logo pin to go with that. And it's hard to see on here, but there's a desert sand dune wave design that is screen printed on the orange. That is a nice little detail that you can see in person with those. And those are limited edition 50 as well.
That's really cool.
So yeah, and it was born out of a necessity for us to try to build something separate and unique for us as a retailer, because if we're selling a common, there's 15 other stores selling that common. How do we differentiate ourselves from those other stores? The challenge is, and I was telling John this earlier, we don't know about new releases from FiGPiN until you guys hear about it. So when the press release comes out on their blog, that's when we find out. We don't know in advance. We don't get early warning on that. So, to turn a pin around conservatively for a small run, 3 to 4 weeks. So it's about a month turnaround. It's not super quick. Because you got to get your designs right, create your backer cards, quality check everything, get it shipped in, customs, all that. So we try to keep up with the releases where we can and do themes that make sense. And so in 2023, we're going to have a lot of stuff for the holidays. So we've got a really awesome My Hero Academia themed logo pin coming out in January. It's going to be a silhouette of Deku with his full cowling lightning that glows in the dark, and the iconic yellow and red around the letters. We're going to be doing 4th of July. We're going to have Valentine's Day. We're going to, of course, continue to go through Easter and our other pins. And with the exception of our first 2 pins, the glow in the dark and the standard white and black, which was just the logo with no icon above it, all of our other pins are one run and done. So when we do a 50 run of them and we run out, it'll be a new design next time. We're not going to reprint that design. We're not going to remake it. So the pastel one Alex showed earlier, I've got about 30 of those left. When they're gone, they're gone. So this coming Easter, if you don't have that yet, when that comes out at Easter again and we put it up, you're going to want to snag it.
Nice. Awesome.
I love that idea. That's really, really cool. And I love all the small details.
I actually have a funny story when you're going through the Greek mythology ones. So when you had posted on the Discord about those coming out, they were so new and cool. I randomly just picked up one and I ended up getting Apollo. And my husband, as you know, owns or co-owns J Squared. And he was telling me that he was like, yeah, this guy, he reached out to me, wanting to do a custom base for these Greek mythology pins. And I happened to just oh, this one? And he was like, you would have it.
Yeah.
He was like, I've never heard or seen of it yet. And he's like, you literally have every pin, don't you? And I'm like, it's so cool. And so I went to just actually look for it. That's why I disappeared and realized he still has it. So I'm gonna just snag that back, and I'm gonna have to pick up the other ones. So
he might actually have the other ones. I think I sent him samples of all of them. One cool thing I will mention on the Greek pins is I did a chase for Apollo and Hades.
Yep.
And
I
both
remember
chases are completely different poses from their comments. They're not just glitter versus not. They're actually completely different poses. So Apollo, for example, is shooting his bow for the chase, and Hades is wearing the helm of darkness along with glow-in-the-dark eyes on Cerberus. So we painstakingly knew it was a separate mold, but we wanted, we listen to all the feedback that you guys give FiGPiN. So when I go and I think about what am I going to make, I take those things into account of, as a collector, as a community, what do we like? And the idea of, I don't want the same mold used 50 times resonates. So, we went a different route, and tried to make that unique. So
very cool.
That's awesome.
I know I've seen the question a few times now, so I want to make sure we're looking at the chat.
Yeah, there's quite a few in here.
What is TiBS look like with FiGPiN for 2023, and is there any expectation for a FiGPiN exclusive with 3F by Space?
That's a great question. I don't have an answer for you. I would love to say that there was one in the works, but we, like many of you, have not had a lot of communication with FiGPiN in 2022. It's not for our lack of trying. We've reached out many times to FiGPiN. There's been a shift in their priorities and their business decisions. They're focused on certain business partners, which, that's their business choice. I would love to work with them on an exclusive in the future. I think for 2023, obviously, I've already put my plans in place for what I'm going to do this year. We're working on a license with Aniplex of America. Just so everybody knows, it's kind of a bit of a spoiler if you're not in our Discord. And so that's probably going to take a financial commitment for us that is more than we spent with FiGPiN last year. So if that goes forward, we probably would skip doing an exclusive this year and maybe do that into 2024. It really depends on how the planning goes. But our door is always open if FiGPiN wants to reach out and maybe do a shared exclusive. They've done that with EE, right? So we just had Cod Bane as an example. Perhaps we could get a couple of retailers to share that and have it be, the first, retailer shared pin with FiGPiN, versus their broader limited edition releases. So yeah, I would love to say that we have something being worked on, but there hasn't been those discussions.
Well, even though being a FiGPiN collector is why we are here, I am super excited for you, and I wish you the best of luck in that endeavor. I think that would be really, really neat to see. So I will pay attention and stand by, and I will make sure we get them on order.
Yeah, we'll keep you guys informed, of course, in all the usual channels. And I know most of you are in our Discord as well. Of course, we'll be in FiGPiN's fan. I mean, we try to keep the FiGPiN fan Discord focused on our FiGPiN offerings, obviously to be respectful of the fact that it is a FiGPiN Discord. If we do talk about other items, we do keep it in our retailer channel. So if you're not already in there following us, please do. And I do see a question from Stephen Me here. He wants to know if I have a pin board. I do. And I'll grab it real quick. I have two of them. One is sort of my branded, like historical pin board of everything that TiBS has done branded so far. And the other is my personal collection of pins from Pin Club, Funko, kind of everything in between. So I'm going to grab that real quick. It's just in the other room and I'll be right back.
Very cool.
That's the one I want to see. Heck yeah.
So why Robert's doing that, I randomly, and I think I've seen someone else go ahead and post about this, but I received a package today, and it was from Battle. I got a Battle box.
You got a Battle box?
It says this box was made with love. It's a Battle box.
All right, so this is our 3F by Space pin wall. So this is all the pins that we've done for 3F by Space so far.
Robert, let me go ahead and make you the spotlight.
Yep.
There you go.
So you can see here, these are our Greek pins that we built. So you can see all the chase variations that we did. So you can see how Hades is very different between his common and his chase with his helmet on. Same with Apollo, where he's firing his bow versus just standing with his crow. So this was our Greek line of pins here. And then these were all of the logo pin designs that we've done in 2022. So you can see we have the 5 pins here for Hunter x Hunter. We have Star Wars, Attack on Titan, 7 Deadly Sins, Sailor Moon, and One Piece. And then our seasonal themed logo pins for TiBS. So Easter, holidays, Halloween. And then these are sort of our evergreen ones, our evergreen pins, with the exception of the glow in the dark, which was a limited edition. These 2 here are open run size. So that was our TiBS pin board. And then this is this is my pinboard board. So lots of stuff on here. Anime focused, of course. Everything from the kind of pins you might find at Hot Topic. Lots of Zen Monkey pins here. So this is all a huge wall of Attack on Titan. Big shout out to FiGPiN Man for helping get me these pins here for Evangelion. These were pretty hard to get the complete set, so I was really excited to complete that. And just a lot of other miscellaneous pins here, some Code Geass, some Avatar, Last Airbender, and some really cool pins from Pin Society. If you've ever seen any of their work online on Instagram, they make some really cool pins as well. So that's my giant pin wall.
And I did see that you had the Evangelion robot there. Was that the pin that you had first seen at the Comic-Con that you were at, or is that a different?
That's a different pin. That was one that I saw fairly recently, about 6 months ago ish. That was a really cool pin, and I wanted to add it to the collection, but I can't carry my camera with me into the other room. But so my Fig pins are up on the wall in the hallway and in my game room, aligned with some of my other figures and items that I have. So, you see all my Funkos behind me, but in those other rooms, I have anywhere between 30 and 50 large statues.
Wow.
Like those big ones that you would find, that are way too pricey to even discuss. Actually, you can see the Naruto ones up there. You can see the 2 really big ones, the Itachi Susanoo and the his name's escaping me, Datara, up there. Those 2 are really big figures. I've got a ton of them out there, including a 2.5-foot Evangelion statue as he's kind of like crashing through the city. And above him is where I have my Fig pins mounted up on the wall using the Hero Complex mounts. But yeah, so that's how I've started displaying my Fig pins, is sort of around the other collectibles that I have.
Dang, that is so cool.
Yeah, man, thank you for sharing.
That's
pretty awesome.
Amazing.
Let's see, what other questions did we not get to in here? So we got the pin board question. A lot of people asking about an exclusive, which we covered. Let's see. Yeah, Zero asked the same question about the exclusive. All right, well, we see if there's other questions. Maybe I'm going to throw a giveaway out there. So these 2 pins right here are sample pins. So meaning they're unnumbered. So these were the samples that were sent to us to approve the final quality of the pins before they were manufactured and sent to us. So I'm going to sign both of these on the back. And I'm going to pick 2 winners in the chat. So the first question I'm going to ask is, what was the first emoji I typed into the chat before tonight's live stream started?
Ooh, that's a good
very
one.
cool.
Let's see who's
Thank
paying
goodness
attention.
I was there to go ahead and see what that was, so I can help you out by looking at the chat here.
Hey, who needs
guys,
an
we
AP
are
when
looking
you get
at
an
live
SP?
chat. So if you are looking at top chat, make sure that you're going ahead and switching to the live chat view. We will do our best to go ahead and be fair and equitable to everyone. But Robert,
I think we got it there.
Yep.
TJ
did answer it. It was an alien emoji. So TJ, congratulations. Robert will go ahead and if you can reach out to Robert. Robert, do you want to share what would be best for them to reach out to you at?
Yeah, if you're in Discord, feel free to hit me up in DM in Discord, or if you want to private message me on Instagram, either is fine. You get your pick of which one you want, so either one, you tell me. Second winner that we're going to pick, same thing, because I have extras of both. You get to pick which one you want. And we'll send that to you. And for the second one, I will leave it to the WTFiGPiN team to pick a winner for that one.
Oh shoot!
We have any? I'm just dropping everything. Is there any new people on our watching today?
Yeah, guys. So if you are new to the show today, if you want to go ahead and drop that in there, you are going to go ahead and be the proud owner of a unnumbered.
Yep. Unnumbered and signed.
And signed TiBS logo. I like how people are going ahead and putting numbers. Battle, thank you, man.
Oh man, I love it.
Stephen Morsch. I love how Stephen Morsch is going ahead and saying he's not new or he's new. All right, so maybe we'll go ahead and figure this out differently, guys, if you want to go ahead and pick someone new. But I did see Nearby Leprechaun. If you guys want to go ahead and do a scroll or something, I'm not sure if there's anyone that is new for tonight. I did see someone go ahead and post that they... where was I going with this now?
That's how this week's gone.
So yeah, I did see someone just post, and I mentioned in the beginning of the show, because we did shout them out. Assassin's Creed box set. Robert, did you go ahead and be able to get one? Did you order one?
I did, and this will be first revealed here on WTFiGPiN.
Yes,
we will be using one of those at least as a mystery box prize coming up here shortly. So you'll have an opportunity, if you didn't want to pay $20 in shipping, or you didn't have the $115 for the box, that you'll be able to have an opportunity to win one of those in a mystery box. The second one, because we did buy two, because it was 2 for the same price on shipping. So we bought 2. I'm not an Assassin's Creed fan myself, never played the game, so really have no vested interest in it. We will probably do a giveaway for that one, so stay tuned for that. Obviously, we want to run through the mystery box that we have live right now. So for anybody that's joined the chat late, we have a mystery box live that gets you all 3 of the My Hero Academia chases locked as a grand prize, meaning it's in one box. You don't have to find it scattered across multiple boxes, to be clear.
Awesome.
And the second prize is an AMC Namor locked as well. So if you haven't gone and checked that out, definitely do it. We are even offering free shipping on that when you buy 2 or more boxes. Free shipping on a mystery box.
Unheard of.
So definitely take the opportunity if you're interested in any of those prizes.
Very cool.
That's awesome.
I came up with an idea, unless somebody's new to the crowd.
I haven't seen any new names, so go ahead.
All right, so for a way to try to draw a little bit of attention, what's that, Joe?
Go ahead. No, I didn't say it.
Okay. So to try to get a little bit, I hope everybody then follows. If they aren't already, I do see most people already have the following. Why don't we go over to TiBS's Instagram? Why don't we see who the first person is that can tell me what their second to last post is and what it is? Maybe something we've already talked about. Hopefully something to put on your calendar to order here very soon.
Tick tock, tick tock. Can you guess? Or can you get on Instagram really fast and figure out what that is? If you're already following us, you're going to know.
It was what? Just a little over a week. It was like a week ago you put it up there, huh?
Yep. Yeah, we
Very, very
just
cool.
got the designs finalized and approved. And for those that know Bendy Sticks in the community, we have
Shout out
partnered
Bendy.
up with Bendy for this logo, as we did with our Genshin Impact pins.
Heck yeah. Shout out Bendy Pins. He is awesome.
It looks like, if my chat is the same as yours, FiGPiN.Marvel was the first to type hero logo.
That is what I'm seeing as well. Yeah.
Yep.
Very
Awesome.
Well, Marvel, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that follow button.
Yep, reach out to me, FiGPiN Marvel, and we'll get you squared away on the pin of your choice.
Very cool. Well, thank you very much. Greatly, greatly appreciated. Never necessary, but we thank you so much.
Yeah, very
For
nice
sure.
of you, man. That's very gracious. So I brought up the Assassin's Creed box, and I want to go ahead and touch to the person that I had seen go ahead and not only lucky enough to get an AP box set at what was the last con?
Anime.
Thank you. He got an AP box set of, I believe it was the One Piece, or was it that Sailor Moon box set? I can't remember what was the one that they were going to sell there. But Nearby Leprechaun goes ahead and gets his Assassin's Creed box set already and hits not only the last chopper out of Altair, the pin number 1000, but that pin also qualifies for a super match. So Nearby Leprechaun, man, congratulations. I did see that it went ahead and got maxed. So pretty cool. But yeah, so if you're wondering if the last chopper out or as well as the super match was claimed, it was, and it is a supporter of the show, Nearby Leprechaun. So congratulations again. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I don't know what my sequences are yet. Mine does not arrive until Monday. Woes of an East Coast person.
Yep.
And of course we won't be opening them because we're going to be, putting them in either a mystery box or a giveaway. So we don't want to open them on people and just to see what the sequences are, because I know that people like their stuff to be sealed and new when you say locked, and we're appreciative of that, and we're that way too. So maybe if the other ones aren't claimed, one of those might be it. You just never know. Or John, Alex, maybe one of you have that other one in yours that's coming.
Yeah, I mean, there is, I guess no other chances though, right? The Altair would have been the only one, since it's a lot of out of 1,000. So can only go ahead and have either last chopper out on them, or no super match bonus.
No super match, yeah.
Right, yeah.
That's the funny thing, actually. If you think about all the new releases, it's sort of like the super match is sort of done at the moment for most run sizes that are smaller, because we're over 1,000.
Yep.
So if it's 1,000 or smaller run size, you're not going to get that super match anymore. So
yep, this is where a great opportunity for my bonus, having so close yet so far, that if you're going ahead and one away from either the last chopper out or a first off the line, you still get some points.
Yeah, that's funny. Oh, the heartbreak when you're one off. Oh man.
Well, here's a suggestion. They add a launch to match your sequence. If your launch matches your sequence, there's an opportunity for a bonus, and that that grows with the growth of the community. As the community gets bigger and there's more unlocks, there's more opportunities for those bonuses.
Yeah, that would be very cool. I think I might have one. I think I might have one or two pins that actually that happened on. I know it's not a bonus, but just random luck that. And I like numbers, so I paid attention to it for whatever reason. So I was like, hey, my sequence matches where my unlock position is.
Well, Leprechaun, I hope that you have a little bit more of that luck, and I hope you get first unlock on that bad boy too.
That would be cool.
So I know we talked about AMC Nammer. I'm not sure, Robert, if you've seen first. I guess, do we want to say it's the first unofficial announcement for a FiGPiN, or do we want to say it's the first official announcement / leak for what the FiGPiN? But we went ahead, and I was randomly checking, as I do many sites, to see if the Hatbox Haunted Mansion FiGPiN had went up on Shop Disney UK. And previously till yesterday, I had all my searches, there was only 2 FiGPiNs on Shop Disney UK. So when I went ahead and typed in FiGPiN, I was like, wait, there's 4 FiGPiNs on there. Maybe they put it on there, maybe they add, or maybe they found stock. And I was like, let me scroll down to see what it is. And sure enough, I find the 100-year celebration Mickey and Minnie. So it has that silvery glitter. Mickey has a blue blue shorts with the same silver on, so it's definitely pretty cool. We were able to screenshot that, and I mean, I was happy that I found something before a big supporter of our show, a big friend of our show, FiGPiN Alerts. So I appreciate going ahead and having the opportunity to go ahead and actually get something before even FiGPiN Alerts was able to find out. But if you haven't, check out FiGPiN Alerts or on What the FiGPiN. Many other people have now shared the same images as well. But yeah, I mean, it's the first look that we got at the 100-year celebration Disney pin. So Robert, we'll start with you since you're our guest. What do you think of them? You seen them?
I have seen them. I'm not real big as a Disney collector in general. I do have a few Disney pins from the recent park releases, like the Hercules pin as an example, because I grew up on that particular cartoon. Yep. I've got Tinkerbell, just because Peter Pan, but that's really it. I think the black and white, the kind of grayscale for those characters do Mickey justice, considering that it's the 100th, right? So it's very in line with that character. It's just not one that personally I collect. So but I have a feeling that Disney fans will be very excited about it, because it's another collectible Disney character that's going to go with all those other vintage 100-year products that are going to be coming out this year in the parks.
Yeah, definitely. Alex, Battle, what were your guys' thoughts when you saw them?
I thought they're cool. How do I want to put this without offending the hardcore Disney fans? I love Disney, as you can see, like most of my Disneys are right here, but I don't know. I'll have to see it in hand, because just from the picture, it looks like they're glittery, which I do like the glitter, and I do like the pop of color on Mickey with the purple pants. But
hold it up and show it.
Did I say you say purple pants? I said blue pants. Are we in disagreement there with what the color is?
Do we have a color a color vision?
What was that? What was that thing with the
dress?
The dress? Was it yellow or blue, green or something like that?
I think it was it purple or I forget what the other color was, but yeah, it was something. Was it black or purple? Something like that.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, yeah, I guess I can see a little purple there. I mean, to me, it still looks blue, but
I mean, it might be blue. I don't know. To me,
I saw it as purple.
The chat is going ahead. Well, I guess I'm going ahead and being outweighed here. The chat's going ahead and saying it's purple.
Yeah, that was my assumption as well when I looked at it, was purple.
I just think the pop of color on Minnie just kind of blends in with the backer card. It's hard to tell that she's got that little scarf or like sachet thing that's on there. But like I said, I'd have to see it in hand before I give it a true judgment.
Yep. Well, I'll concede, especially since Robert and Alex are against me on this one, that it's purple. So yeah, I mean,
color on it. They're not black and white. I mean, what the heck?
Yep. Yeah, there's just a little bit.
That's how I see color sometimes.
Yep.
Well, my thought on them is it's one more reason to go to Disney UK. So I don't have a problem with them. Let's go.
Yeah, well, and so it even more interesting is that obviously these pins that had not been announced at all, so it was a total surprise for everyone, show up on Disney site, and then are you seeing that Battle's frozen with his hand? Like, did you see?
He's somewhat frozen there.
Okay. Yeah. So, they have an unannounced pin. No one's aware of it. It's available for sale. I know that there's been people that have purchased the pin. I know that there's another friend of the show, Nerds That Collect. I believe he's went ahead and bought some to get shipped to Canada. So I'm sure that he'll go ahead and be having that available for the collectors in the North American region. But there's still no hat box or box set. Which one did I say wrong? I can't remember now.
It's hat box.
Hat box. Yeah. So there's still no hat box though. That has been seen
officially.
I know that there's been several APs that have been unlocked. I believe there's one of the 900 lot that was unlocked. Yep. But we're not sure if that's the online lot edition or is that a park edition. So we still have to go ahead and figure what that looks like.
Yeah, and we've seen a Hatbox AP out there in Mystery Box. Chalice had it,
Yep.
So it's definitely out there. And here's an interesting question for you guys, and I don't know if you've discussed this before, but for those of you that have gone to Disney and seen FiGPiN in the parks, what's your thoughts on how they stand up merchandising wise against the hundreds of other pins that you see in those Disney shops? Because I have my kind of point of view from when I went to Animal Kingdom and first saw that first set of Disney pins that came to the park. But I kind of want to see what your thoughts were on that.
Well, Alex, you're the last one that I believe that was at Disney, and so go ahead and you can share your thoughts.
Like I was saying last episode, I thought it was really cool seeing people actually look at them and, interact with them. But to be honest, I didn't see a lot of people like actually buying them. They would pick it up, look at it. I would even hear people say like, oh, that's really cool. But then they would put it down and walk away. I don't know if there's enough information, out there so people don't really know what they are, so they're just like, oh, that's cool, don't know what a FiGPiN is, put it back, and then they get the Disney branded trading pins that everyone knows what they are.
Yep.
Because they've been around for so long, and that's just my thought personally. And also, I mean, the whole point, a lot of people actually do the trading with the employees and other people, and putting this honkin' 3-inch pin on their Disney lanyard doesn't quite, fit the motif. But I don't know. It's interesting.
Yeah, your observation is actually the exact same thing that I saw. And as a marketer and an e-commerce person, this is me sort of like backseat quarterbacking, if you will, when I see this stuff out there. From a pricing perspective, FiGPiN is in line with everything else you see at Disney. Mm-hmm. Generally speaking, it's not out of line. But when I go in there and I see pin collectors, I see them, especially for Disney, they like to put them on hats, on bags, something that's easy to carry and trade. And when you look at a FiGPiN, it's in this rather large acrylic box. And that's beautiful for display purposes for us to have at home. But for someone who's doing pin trading, it seems like a little bit of a turnoff because they don't understand why it's in that kind of box. Can it be removed from that box? Is there more to it than that? And I think that boils down to the visual merchandising that could be done for the displays that these pins are on, whether that's Target or Disney or any other big box retailer that these sit in. And I think we've all kind of had that struggle sometimes of talking to our friends and saying, well, what is a FiGPiN? And explaining to them what it is, how it works, the digital aspect of it. So I think if some of that could be put into the thought process for the displays where those are, I think there might be people more willing to pick those up in the parks than kind of what you and I are seeing already, which is that they look at it and it's cool and it's great and the detail is spectacular. I mean, let's face it, if you have a pin board like I do or like Alex does back there, you know the detail on these pins is in the top tier of pins. There's no doubt. But explaining the product to people is where it gets a little bit difficult. And so that's the challenge that even as a retailer that I have to overcome when we sell FiGPiN online. We do a lot of advertising, socially, remarketing, paid search. And, you know, when we advertise on things like enamel pins, very generic, very broad category, we really have to get into detail in explaining a FiGPiN. And that's a big barrier to purchase, right? And so I think that's an area of growth opportunity. If they truly want to build a brand and a story around that, there has to be a better, as my boss for my day job would tell me, if you can't explain it in a single slide, it's too complicated, right? We need a single sheet, a single sign above it that says, here's what it is. It's a pin. It's got a digital aspect. You can carry it around with you. You can put it on display, but how do you distill it down into that one sheeter? And if they can do that, that would help.
They might be better off, like Goon had mentioned, like asking if I was saying bring back the minis. I mean, minis might
soft
be
cases,
without the cases, just on a piece of paper or like backer card, just like Disney does theirs. Maybe even with a plastic sheet over it like this or something. If
just
they want
like
to
these
protect the digital image, aspect of, you know, the serial number and all that, but that might be a better market for the Disney realm instead of these huge 3-inch pins.
And that's the thing, right? Is different markets, different products, right? Online, we accept this as is because the type of collector that we are, we want sort of that high quality displayable thing that we can put in our home around our other collectibles. Whereas in the Disney space, they may want something simpler, more portable, less, intimidating when they go to buy it. And it's okay to have those different versions in those different environments. It's a great way to expand the brand beyond the core collector group you have today.
Agree.
For sure.
Now, I know we're venturing and we want to be respectful of your time, Robert. You've been amazing, and everyone else watching. So I know we have Professor FiGPiN was awesome, and he donated a pin to give away. So Battle, do you want to choose a random person for us to give that away to?
Okie dokie, let's see here.
And while he's looking, I believe the giveaway was a LACC 2022 FiGPiN logo. So thank you very much, Professor. We really appreciate it.
I would love to go ahead and if Battle would pick FiGPiN Anonymous, just so we would know who that person is.
Good luck. I've contemplated who I think it is, and I haven't pinpointed it yet myself.
That is too funny.
I don't know if we've seen Wookie Pool before. That was newer.
Wookie Pool. I actually got to meet Wookie Pool over at one of the cons.
Oh.
That cosplayed up. They were really cool.
So as Battle's looking, and Robert touched on a point that, people, and we see this, outside of Disney as well. And I'll admit that when I first got into FiGPiN and wasn't really, stupidly kind of being like, I'm a true collector and cannot go ahead and open the box to go ahead and say that it's still brand new. But obviously, the FiGPiN community has accepted that, yes, you can go ahead and open, the pin, the box, and see the pin and check the stats without unlocking it, and then put it back in, and it still be considered brand new if the pin is still locked. So I think that's a hard thing to go ahead and overcome. With any again, this is Disney included as well as outside of Disney. But I think it's hard to go ahead and get people to understand, like, yes, it's a collectible. And you may not want to go ahead and open it because you never want it to see, oxygen again. But it's okay to go ahead and do that. So the messaging to, as Robert was sharing, to kind of go ahead and get that out there and let them understand that, hey, like, yes, it's because I think the desirability factor, and I know someone went ahead and mentioned it as we in the chat, people, especially Disney collectors, they like knowing that they're low lot sizes, and that it has value to it after, where there are several FiGPiNs that do have value to it. And you either know that because you go ahead and are active within the app, or obviously engaged in any of the communities within FiGPiN. So I definitely would go ahead and be cool to see, one, people more willing to accept what the community has accepted, that you can open up a pin, check it out on the app, and then still put it back in there without unlocking the pin to an account, and seeing what what that pin looks like as far as the physical version, and then obviously seeing it in a digital stance.
Yeah, I mean, I think like any collectible, FiGPiN is no different than Funko or others, where some people are the in-box collectors. It stays in its carton and it never leaves that because there's future value. Some buy it simply because they want to flip it in a short period of time, and others collect because they enjoy the license or the line, and they love the way it looks, and they take it out of the box and put it on display. As you can see from behind me, I am far from an inbox collector for Funko. You do see I have a couple that I have kept in their boxes, but for the most part, out of the box, on risers, on display. That's just how I collect. I'm not really thinking about future value. But I don't discount the fact that for some, that's how they collect. And that's okay.
Yep.
Collect what you love.
Yep. And I think that's another great thing about FiGPiN is I was going to say durability, the variability of collecting that you want to do. So you can go ahead and keep it as is and never interact with the app, and it's a cool piece of cool pin, a cool piece of art. You can go ahead and be involved as much of the four of us are within the community, within the app, and unlock everything, and kind of engage with the community as we are. But going ahead and having that opportunity to collect how you want, just as Robert said, is pretty cool that FiGPiN is able to offer, as well as many other collectibles. But this one has two experiences that you can go ahead and kind of see how you want to collect the hobby.
Yep. App not required, kind of like batteries not included. The app is not required if you don't want to bother with it. And we see that, right? I mean, we don't always get 90% cohorts or even 100%. A lot of people collect them and love them, but never put them in the app. And that's fine. That's going to happen. And as the app evolves, and hopefully there's more features and incentives to get engaged with the app, you will find more and more people unlocking them as a result.
Did you pick someone, Battle?
Yeah, so again, shout out Professor FiGPiN. Thank you very much for the generous giveaway and logo. Everybody, if they don't know, go check out for Professor's FiGPiN on IG as Professor_FiGPiN. That's actually where the question will derive from now, because I couldn't pick nobody. But how about we just have somebody come check it out? Why don't we send people to Professor FiGPiN's page? Make sure you like him, follow him, do all that good stuff for him, help him build his crowd. What does he consider himself? What's his title under Professor FiGPiN, and how many people is he following?
So what does Professor FiGPiN consider himself within his, I think that's on his IG page, yes. And then how many,
right under his name.
Not how many people does he are following him, but how many people does Professor FiGPiN follow?
Correct.
So yeah, go ahead and guys make sure Professor FiGPiN, Professor_/FiGPiN. He goes ahead and shares a lot of great information within the community. as many of us, love spreadsheets. So if you take a look at some of his posts, he goes ahead and definitely shares some cool statistics that he gathers from information that FiGPiN's looking for. And I know that I think he may be even working something from our show last week with Dan, trying to go ahead and gather some of that information for him. So make sure that you're definitely checking him out at Professor_FiGPiN. We appreciate you, especially with
definitely
being so
been doing some pretty neat things too, with some animation and some videos and stuff. So I think he has a bunch of good things coming. I know he just loves doing all this stuff, especially for FiGPiN. So thank you very much again.
And while you're at Instagram, make sure that you are also going ahead and giving a follow to our man Robert at 3if by space all together. You will see his logo is a white background with black lettering with his acronym TiBS. So Robert, do you like people going ahead and just calling you TiBS? Do you like 3if by space? Does it matter to you? Like, what do you like out of the two options better?
It flexible. I mean, 3if by space is a mouthful, right? Typing my email out to log in on a TV, smart TV, is a pain in the ass. Because it's such a long email. But TiBS, 3if by space, either or. Happy to go with both.
Very cool. And also, Robert, when is I think you said it was bi-weekly, if I heard correctly, the IG live that you do? What is it, a specific day? Do you change it up or?
Yeah, it's usually on Thursday nights. If you go to our website and click on the TiBS live events at the top navigation, you'll see when our next show is scheduled. We'll be doing one this Thursday. So we'll be updating the page tomorrow, and we'll be having a discussion this Thursday on the most anticipated new films coming out for the rest of January, February. Talking a little bit more in depth about Avatar's success in movie theaters right now, and some of our end of the year voting that we did, the 4-year consideration. Obviously tonight's the Golden Globes, so we're going to probably be doing some Oscar predictions on the show as well.
Very cool.
That sounds really cool.
Battle, have you been checking the chat? Because I have not. I don't even remember what you asked at this point. So
the winner was Stephen Morsch.
Ooh, Stephen Morsch. Very cool. Awesome, Stephen. We appreciate you, man,
Congrats.
as always.
Thank you again.
Yep. Please go ahead and reach out to Professor FiGPiN. I think we hit everything on what we wanted to talk about, right? Alex, Battle, did you have any other questions for Robert?
I don't think so. I just really want to say thank you so much, Robert, for coming on the show. I've learned a lot about you and what you stand for and what you do, and I really enjoyed this conversation, and I'm sure I'll be reaching out to you soon because we need to talk about these logos here. I need some more logos here.
Sure.
But I did want to say that before we move on for Battle, I do want to talk about we did hit 500 subscribers. So that
Congrats.
was last episode. So we will be having our giveaway for that. We're going to put together, so look for a separate post for that. And we're going to do that. Next week, are we doing our?
Yeah, I mean, we're not sure yet, not for what we're doing next week yet. So we might have a guest, or we might go ahead and be announcing something later this week, guys. So yeah, hang tight.
I think we just need to pull the trigger on it, man.
Yep, I hear you.
All right, well, so stay tuned. Hopefully by Thursday we'll have an announcement if I get my way. So stay tuned. Awesome things to come.
Very, very true. Battle, what about you, my friend?
TiBS, 3if by space, Robert, thank you very much for joining us tonight. I will hands down say you're a badass, man. I really like what you got going on. I love the detail in some of them pins you're making. I like the side hobbies that you have as well besides your day job. My hat off to you for doing it for so long and having success with it. I wish you all the best in the future. If there's anything we can ever do for you, please let us know.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you guys having us on and letting me talk a little bit about us and what we do. I know that most of you see and hear us on social channels and Discord. And of course, feel free to always reach out to us. We're in there often and always talking with everybody, whether it's just talking shop or talking collectibles, movies, anime. It doesn't always have to be about buying and selling. It can be about fun stuff too. We can be fun.
Yeah.
So
I-
definitely interact with us.
I will share that it's something I learned something I had no idea about your whole, movie critic piece of, what you do there. So that's pretty awesome. I'm excited to go ahead and see that for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I had tons and tons and tons of fun. John, Punks, Andy, thank you as always. All I can say is there should be announcement as she gets her way in a few days, and I think episode number 50 next week is going to have even more surprises. It's going to be a lot of fun. In my personal opinion, episode 50 officially is what the FiGPiN is a milestone accomplishment. Thank you all for letting us hit the 500. I hope that it continues to grow, and hopefully pretty soon it'll start going in leaps and bounds, and hopefully we can bring better content, better material to have more first time with the FiGPiN leaks or finds. So I think I've had a lot of fun with it. I'm really looking forward to where it continues to go, and I thank everybody who watches week to week.
Very true, man. Thank you so much.
Yep.
Robert, an opportunity for you to go ahead and share your social medias, your website, anything else that you'd like to add to end the show, my friend.
Sure. So 3fbyspace.net if you want to check out our site, subscribe to our email so that you get notified of our reviews, interviews, and any kind of entertainment news content. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at 3fbyspace. If you want to follow me personally, you can find me on those channels at Robert W. Prentice, which I will type in the chat so that everybody has that spelling. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram on those channels where I post a little bit more of my personal collecting and not so much about the website. So there I'll be talking about my personal reviews on films, personal things I collect. I just finished the Stranger Things Lego set as an example. So you'll see that on there.
Cool.
Stuff like that. And that's where I post my more personal stuff that's going on. Mike, no, there is no OnlyFans. So that is not happening. If you haven't already followed us in our Discord channel, we will post a new invite link in our social channels for you to join. And just feel free to come and talk with us. It's very casual. It's not we will not be sitting you down for a timeshare sales pitch.
So, and Rotub, I'm not sure how to say that, but he's asked a question. It looks like he went ahead and asked it twice now.
Favorite favorite YouTube movie critic these days. That's a tough one. I'm biased because I'm a critic myself, right? I will give you this piece of advice when it comes to critics, especially review aggregator sites like Rotten Tomatoes. Don't use those websites to make your decision on what you see and what you don't. Go out there, watch lots of reviews on YouTube and read reviews on other sites. Find a critic who thinks like you do and likes the things that you do, and stick with them to find out what to watch and what not to watch. Not everybody likes the same thing. Not everybody likes what I like. Not everybody is going to want to see the same things. I'm not big on the horror genre. Other people are. That's my recommendation for you, because otherwise these aggregators, you're just going to find yourself disappointed because 9 out of 10 times their overall ratings are wrong. So that's the best piece of advice I could give you.
Very cool, man.
Good
Very
stuff.
cool. Yeah, Robert, truly a pleasure, man. I know that, we've chatted before, kind of infrequently, but we know each other throughout the community. So it was definitely a pleasure getting to know you. Thank you for taking the time to join us. I know that we are like way over time. We try to go out and do this an hour and 15 minutes. So we appreciate you taking the extra time with us. Alex Battle, as always, it's a pleasure to have this time with you and all that we do, all that you guys do for the community. So thank you. Battle, Robert, I'm not sure if you've seen to the end of the show, but actually shout out to Bendy Sticks again. our show first started off in FiGPiN boosters, and we always go ahead and kind of give a shout out at the end to that with our boost awesome. So battle will count down. If you don't mind going ahead and doing that with us, we appreciate it.
Sure.
Guys, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. We only can go ahead and do this because of your support. So thank you so very much. Battle, we'll leave it up to you, my friend. Have a good night, everyone.
Good night to all. Episode 50 next week. We're so excited. Have a good night in 3, 2, 1.
Boost awesome.
Boost awesome.
Battle awesome.
Have a great night, everyone.
Night, guys.
Good night, y'all. Thanks again.
And let me do this right